Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to this platform of education. How often do you how often do you spot fake news? Close to half of social media users report to having seen fake news at least once a day, which is quite a lot. What makes it worse is that fake news travels much faster than the truth. To put that in perspective, on Twitter, fake authentic news often reaches not up to 1,000 people, whereas fake news often reaches over 10,000 people. What about those who fall victims to scams or hacks? Just this year, there has been over 53,000 scam reports with a total of over $52 million lost. All of this point to one thing: the need for us to intensify our fight against misinformation, scams, and hacks in general. So how then can you identify a scam or fake news? Joining us today is a special guest, an expert who will answer all our questions related to this. Some call him Mr. Tanteta, others the Afro Dreamer. Personally, I call him Mbougue, but officially his name is Mbougue Nobel, a visual artist, entrepreneur, and business owner, co-founder and CEO of Tanteta. Welcome, Mr. Nobel, and thank you very much once more for joining us today.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure. Pleasure is mine.
Awesome. By the way, before we proceed, we have some very interesting content coming up. So to all our first timers, please kindly hit the subscribe button and press the bell to get notifications in due time. Meanwhile, give us a thumbs up and share this stream to your friends, family, and contacts. They would like to know this too, believe me. And as we progress, feel free to drop any questions you have in the live chat. Okay, so Mr. Nobel, how can you identify fake news, scams, or fake links?
Okay, that's actually a very good question, because before we even talk about identifying fake news, we first of all need to be able to identify good news, or legit or tangible news, because the reason why we can that's just a general principle. The reason why we can say that anything is wrong is because we know what is right. Okay, when you know what is right, you are now able to make the difference with what's wrong, and get rid of what's wrong.
Yeah.
So this same principle, this same general principle applies to fake news and scams and all that. So the first thing that I would like to say is that each time that we are faced with any kind of information, okay, we need to be able to answer the 5 W's. Okay, 5 W's. We're talking about who, we're talking about where, we're talking about when, we're talking about where, and whom. Okay, we are going to be developing these 5 W's throughout this show, I'm sure. But these are the questions that stuff that are not right, that are not legit, find it difficult to answer. So now we need to pay quite close attention, because sometimes when we look, for example, because I've seen a lot of fake job offers, or a lot of things that say, okay, click on this link and you are going to win 5,000 gigabytes during this quarantine period. And you don't know who is offering the 5,000 gigabytes. You don't know to who they are offering the 5,000 gigabytes. You don't know when they started offering the 5,000 gigabyte. A lot of questions remain unanswered. Okay, and hackers and scammers, okay, they use that a lot to play with us. You see, for example, they'll just throw an information out there that has no date. You don't know who is who initiated that, to whom it was intent for, and they play with that, and they cause us to keep sharing those information, which it might be a scam, in a sense that the person behind it might try to get some money from you, or it might be a hack, so that in the sense that the person behind it might get access to your phone, or to your information, or to everything that that you have. So we need to pay really close attention, also because fake information and fake news even the way it is presented, it doesn't even look right, because the other day we saw a certain communique that was supposedly sent by the ministry, I think it was Ministry of Vocational Training, Employment and Vocational Training, I think, of Cameroon. And then you could clearly see that the header of the document was not the official header, of the Ministry of Vocational Training. You could clearly see that the website that the people wrote on that fake job offer from the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training was not the real email of the Ministry of Vocational Training. I mean, the real website, sorry, because it's important to know that all official websites of Cameroon, government bodies or government organizations have to finish by .gov, okay, .cm.gov, but that was just a website that they made up to attract people and to scam them. And so there were a lot of
I see.
inconsistency even in the formatting of the document. And there was a friend of mine or a brother of mine who actually wrote to that fake phone number that was on the fake job offer. And then the person was asking him to send 35,000 francs through mobile money for some processes or something. So you already see that there is no government agency in Cameroon that is going to ask you to send money through mobile money, and the name on the mobile money even is the name of some individual in his house who is just taking advantage of that to to scam people and stuff like that. So fake information actually is something that's real. We may not notice that, but we are surely going to see how important it is when we'll be talking about how to protect your Facebook page from being hacked or attacked. And as I said, answering the 5 W's can help a long way in preventing that. First one, who is sending the offer? Has is the job provider, if it's for a job interview, for a job offer, for example, is the job provider, are his informations clearly written on the document? That's the answer. You need to answer that. Who is it? Okay, is it clear? The name should be there, the website, the phone number, official website, and email address. Second is where. Okay, where is it located? Because sometimes they will say a fake information, for example, like the other day I was saying for Brasserie du Cameroun, they just say Brasserie du Cameroun is recruiting 500 people and stuff, 500 youths and stuff for this. You don't know where are they recruiting there. Is it in Yaoundé? Is it in Douala? Is it in Bamenda? Okay, so you need to answer, because every serious person who sends out an information will always make sure the information is concise. It does not lack some basic details that oftentimes scammers and hackers forget to include. So where, you need to answer that question. When, okay, timing, okay. You not just say Brasserie Cameroon is recruiting 500 youths. When are they recruiting the 500 youths? There's always a date for that, because they will not be recruiting those youths all the time. So those scammers, they use it because they know that if they put a date, they know that at some point in time when that date will cross, they won't have praise on which they can scam them and stuff. So the fourth question is where. No, I already said that. I said who, where, when, to whom. Okay, so whom is talks about the audience. Who is the audience of that? Because things that are not really legit, the guys, the scammers behind it, they don't want to give a lot of precision, because when a recruiter, for example, is recruiting, they always say, okay, who is qualified for this? Have a bachelor, have this, have a GC, master. They kind of make it clear. But those scammers and hackers at times, they don't give a lot of precision. So you don't know to whom it is for. So you feel like you are among, you feel like you are because they want to include the maximum people possible. They don't want to limit their audience, their reach, because they want to scam a maximum. So they will not usually precise to whom it is for, because they want you to feel like it can be for you and you can easily fall in the scam. So I hope I was not too long to answer this.
Wow, that was definitely edifying. And that brings me to my next question. Let's say someone is searching for information on the web. How can they tell whether a website has reliable information, or how can they identify a trustworthy website?
Okay, just as a reminder, just for theory, for those who are not too much versed with computer stuff, a website is just an interface that uses the internet to display its content onto any kind of device, a phone or a laptop. So
Okay.
so for now, for a website now to reach your phone, for instance, if you are viewing the website on your phone, on your laptop, for the website to reach your phone, it has to use what we call a URL, okay, or what we oftentimes call a link. It uses a link because a link is like, it's a unique URL means unique reference locator. So it's just a unique identifier, like a phone number that each person has, that if I click on this particular link, I can get on this particular website. So this also means that it's not possible for one website to belong to two different companies or two different bodies. So each body has its official website. There is no sub-official website. I mean, for the more serious ones, they usually have just one. And so the URL is made of three parts. The first part is the protocol, which is usually the HTTP. HTTP is just the protocol that that website uses. The second part, which is usually the www dot something, that one is called the domain name. And as I said, the domain name is like the phone number of a company, because it's like a unique identifier, because each entity has his own unique identifier. So that www dot something, if it's Facebook, it will be www.facebook.com. That's the domain name. And sometimes it's also suffixed. So at the end, there's usually a third part, which is usually just like the path, because there's usually, for example, it could be www.facebook.com, then there's a slash. Then if it is to link to my own page, there'll be a slash, and there'll be Mbougue Nobel to say it is linking to the page of Mbougue Nobel under Facebook. So with that idea of what really a link is made of, you understand that the first part also gives you information about the security of the website, how secure that website is, because usually secure websites have an S after the HTTP. There is an S, which stands for secured. So every serious entity organization will always want to make its website secured. It is it's like a way to be credible. So if you see a website that doesn't have the S, you should start doubting already the credibility of that website, unless maybe it is like it's maybe just the blog of your friend. Maybe your friend is a blogger, and maybe he doesn't have because it also costs money to have a secured website. He maybe doesn't have the money to secure his website. So you might understand. But for any serious organization that is doing something like a recruitment, doing something like win 5,000 gigabyte, things like that, that website has to be secured. And it's not advisable even to venture on an unsecured website, unless really it is your friend who is a blogger, who has that blog, and you want to support a friend. But even though, you need to pay attention, because a hacker can hack the page, the Facebook of your friend, and act like he's your friend and send you an unsecured link, and you'll be like, okay, it is my friend who sent it to me, let me just be on that link. And you find yourself also being hacked and losing a lot. So to identify now, and your question was, how do we identify how genuine, trustworthy a website is? The first one is the security of it, that S on the HTTP. The second one is also the subdomain. For example, www.facebook.com is the domain name. The subdomain is .com. So .com tells you also about the nature of the website. If, for example, you hear that the scam we talked about at the beginning, which was that fake recruitment from the Ministry of Vocational Training, Ministry of Vocational Training, you see that the website that they presented, there was not the official website of the Ministry of Vocational, because every government body in Cameroon, his websites have a subdomain that ends with .cm.gov. So if you are venturing on a website that pretends to be the website of a ministry or whatsoever, and it is finishing by .com, you need to start doubting already. Same thing for the United States. Every website of any official organizational body in the US finishes by .gov. So
Yeah,
if you are
exactly.
browsing on whatsoever thing and somebody told you that it is something for the USA and you don't, for a government but you don't say .gov, you can start doubting that website, and you better not venture on
Exactly.
something that is doubtful.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. So a lot of people often realize that their social media accounts, such as Facebook, have been hacked only after they see a post which they obviously didn't send. So, what advice can you give on how to protect social media accounts or any other accounts in general from being hacked?
Okay, that's a good question. Um, the obvious reason will be to have a good password. I mean, that's the first obvious reason, is to have a good password, because you'll be amazed at the fact, at the kind of weak password that people might have. Some people's password is password. And honestly, if your password is password, that's you need to change that immediately right now, as we are doing as you are watching this video, because when you have such an easy password, you are making the job easier for the hacker who is trying to get into your account, because he just, in that case, all he will need to have is to have your username. If he just has your username, he will just guess your password and you are done. So that's the first obvious
Yeah.
reason. So just by the way, a good password needs to be at least 8 characters long and must contain all the 4 different types of characters. And but by that I mean it must contain at least a lowercase letter, at least an uppercase letter, at least a number, and at least a special character, which are things like slashes, parentheses, um, quotes, uh, I, hashtags, dollar signs, percentages, things. Those are special characters. So you need to have at least one of those 4 different categories of characters to make it
Yeah.
a strong password. So apart from the password thing, apart from the password thing, most hackers on Facebook are always, I mean, that is a technique I've seen for 90% of the cases I've met. They always send
Okay.
you a link. They always send you a link to an unsecured website. I had that case.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you the screenshots I took, because when I have a case of a scammer that tries to scam me, I always take screenshots so I can share to people to show them, okay, this is how they do, this is how they do. And I was having
Yeah.
a short training in a WhatsApp group, and I was showing them, because what that scammer did is that someone sends me a friend request on Facebook. First of all, we need to pay attention to the friend request we receive on Facebook, because you can't accept a friend request from someone whom you guys have no friends in common. So c'est quand même c'est un peu
Yeah.
amusant. Yeah. So, and the Facebook page of that person, the Facebook profile of that person didn't really look genuine. It was empty. Um, no content, or the Facebook was just so blank and so empty. The person had a very few friends. So the reason why I was discussing with that scammer was because I wanted to show to people how they operate. It's not because I fell for that scam or something.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I get it.
so how they do is that the scammer, whosoever was behind it, but the profile picture was a lady, usually dressed in an extravagant way, because that's how they attract people. But I'm sure maybe behind that lady was a guy. So the person behind it was like, okay, she's participating in a modeling competition or something, and she wants me to vote for her so that she can win. And then I asked her, okay, where is the modeling competition? She said, no, the modeling competition is in Kribi. Because she first of all asked me in what town I am, even though I'm in the US. I told her that no, I am in Yaoundé. Then when I said I'm in Yaoundé, she said no, that the competition is in Kribi. I said, okay, the competition is in Kribi, and what are the prizes? What are you winning? So I was asking a lot of questions, but I didn't want to spoil his technique. So he now sent me a link. I said, okay, please vote for me for this competition, modeling competition. and I want to win and stuff. And then when you go on the link, you see that it is a page that looks like Facebook.
Yeah.
It is not
It's,
Facebook
it's on
actually,
Facebook, yeah.
because the HTTP does not have S. And it does, the domain name is not facebook.com. It is something else like Facebook new or something.com or something. And then the person wanted me to put my Facebook username on that fake website for me to vote for her, and I didn't. So when I came back, I told her, no, your website is not working. The person now said, no, it is working. Now let me send a screenshot of how it is not working. So basically, that's how they operate. So,
Yeah.
but the idea is that never put your credentials
Yes.
on an
Yeah.
unsecured, don't even spend so much time on unsecured websites. So avoid that, because that's how most of the time Facebook scammers do to scam you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very personal indeed. This is, I mean, this is really good stuff. I mean, it is often said that.
There's a comment on YouTube
Oh
that
yeah,
I think it's Chris Priest. He's saying that if the account doesn't post at all, just one picture, for example, is a red sign, and that's true.
yeah. I agree. I agree to that. That's very good stuff. Yeah. So it is often said that prevention is better than cure. But what if you've already fallen victim to a hack, for example? Okay, so if your current account has already been hacked, what steps should you take to minimize the damage?
Okay. Honestly, prevention is really better than cure.
Yeah.
Because when someone's Facebook page has already been hacked, it's usually difficult to get it back, because it depends on how smart the hacker or the scammer, whosoever is behind it, is. Because I've already tried to recover a friend's Facebook page that was hacked, the same method. But it depends on how smart, because you trying to get it back, you are trying also to scam him or to hack him the same way that he did to hack the person who had it before. So it wasn't really an easy task. So what I had to do with that person that hacked my friend's Facebook is that I told the person that I wrote to my friend, like I was writing to my friend normally, like I don't know that her Facebook page had been scammed. I just told her that, hey, you know how to send you some money, right? And I tried calling you, your number is not going through. Please send me your names. Let me send you that money. I told her I want to send her $300. That, give me your name, let me send you that money. So when the scammer saw $300, the scammer was excited, and the scammer was like, okay. So the scammer started acting like he was that my friend. So that telling me that, no, actually I've traveled, but if you can send to my uncle. So that's what the scammer said, because I knew that when the person saying send to my uncle, maybe that uncle is the scammer himself. So I said, okay, no problem. If you want me to send to your uncle, that's fine. Give me your uncle's name, or scan or snap the ID card of your uncle and send to me. Because the way I want to send, here we don't have mobile money, because the person wanted me to send through mobile money. So I said, no, here we don't have mobile money. I will send, but through wall remit. So snap the ID card of your uncle and send to me. So now the person has started saying that, no, actually, war remit, I don't know, my uncle doesn't know war remit. But if you send, I said, no, I know that uncle doesn't know, but it is very easy to get the money through war remit. So I was trying, the idea is that I was trying to get the person's ID card.
Okay.
Because if I have the ID card of the person with all his information on it, it might be, it might be a step forward to getting back the account, because with the person's information, you can actually either report the person to the police because it's a crime. Cybersecurity is a crime. I mean, not cybersecurity. Cyber criminality is a crime, actually. So you can either report the person or use the person's personal information that you could get to guess now the new password of that person. That is, if he's not smart, if he's not too smart, you can try to get it back. But it really depends on how smart the hacker is. But
exactly,
honestly, prevention is always better than cure.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, wow, good to know. So in a similar manner, what if you've already clicked on a malicious link, either from a phishing email or on social media? So that generally leads to malware or viruses being downloaded and installed on your phone, and that those things really cause a lot of damage. So is there something you could do to reduce or eliminate the damage?
With the malicious links?
Yes.
Okay, the first thing that you can do is that um, never be too quick to click on those links that say WhatsApp is offering 5,000 gigabytes. Click here. No, no, no. Never be too quick to click on those links. Each time that you see one of those fishy posts, what you need to do is to go to Google and do a Google search and ask Google, is WhatsApp offering 5,000 gigabytes to whosoever in Cameroon or in Yaoundé or wherever? And Google will always give you the official link of that WhatsApp that is doing that whatsoever thing that they are saying. And if they, because sometimes those posts are true, because scammers also use true information to divert you onto their own fake websites. Because I've already seen that when this issue of dark theme on WhatsApp came out, scammers created their own fake website and said, for you to get a dark theme on WhatsApp, follow this fake link and then do this, do that, and they're getting your information. They're getting information from those links. They're putting malwares on in your devices. So what you need to do is to go to the official website of that person saying that they're offering whatsoever, and you will find that very thing. So don't be quick to click on those fake links each time that they come up. So that's what I have to say. Because once you click on those fake links, you are not sure of what is going on those fake websites. So you need to go to Google and search. Because
Yeah.
what I did for the WhatsApp dark theme, because when it was coming out, many fake guys sent their own fake websites where you can get the dark theme from there. But I went straight to the WhatsApp official website, and they had to direct me to Google Play Store, where you just had to update. It was as easy as updating your WhatsApp to get the dark theme. So yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. I see some very interesting comments as well from Chris Breeze. Don't forget, it says don't forget to configure a working phone number on your Facebook, and you should always change it after if you change your country, so that when your account has been hacked, you can recover it. Yeah, that's definitely very, very useful. And it's also important to always log out when browsing from another machine, or people people always sign in the cybers and then they forget to log out.
And that's true,
right.
because what's amazing is that sometimes when I tell people to pay attention with their information, the information here is that, what do I have to hide? That what will someone scam from me? I mean, they are like, what do I have to hide? That's really amazing, because you have a lot to hide. You have your identity to hide. Because when those scammers hack your Facebook page, it's not because you are a famous personality that they are hacking your Facebook page. Not always, because they can hack the Facebook page of anybody and then use your identity. That is because on your Facebook page there's everything about you. There's your name, surely. There's your birthday, surely. Your pictures are there. So many things about you. Your identity is there. So you have your identity to hide and to protect. So people should not say that, what do I have to hide? What do I have to protect? No, because when I hack your Facebook page, I use your identity to steal from other people. And when I see from other people, it is your name that shows. They will say, okay, this name has done this crime. Meanwhile, it's another person using your identity. So you have your identity to protect.
Very important. Yeah, so I mean, this has really been an awesome experience, to say the least. I've really learned a lot, and I'm sure that our viewers have learned as well. So thank you very much once more for taking our time to join us today, and we are looking forward for when next you will be on this platform.
Thank you. It's the pleasure is really mine. I really hope that after this small session, people will understand that when they pay attention to fake information, scams, hacks, they are not just protecting themselves, but they are also protecting their friends, because a hacker can use you to reach your friend. If, for example, a hacker wants to reach me, like I took the example that of today. Maybe if you think that your life, you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to protect, I think that your friends should have something to protect, because a hacker can use you, hack your Facebook page with all your information inside, and then use your page to send a message to one of your friends and say this, and hack something from that your friend. So it's not just a personal responsibility; it's a shared responsibility. You are doing it not just for yourself, but for others. Like when you are forwarding information that you don't verify before you forward to WhatsApp groups, you are putting other people in danger, because when you forward a fake information of WhatsApp offering 5,000 gigabytes that is not true, you are putting other people who will potentially click on those links. You are putting them in danger. So this is not just about you alone. It's about your friends, people around you. It's a global responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
to all our viewers, thanks for sticking with us till the end. Your patience has definitely paid off. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, and don't forget to like and share. And as I earlier mentioned, we have more exciting content coming up, so please stay tuned.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll wait for a couple of minutes before I stop the stream for the last parts to go.